Yo, fam, this is absolutely crazy. Everything around this situation is so bizarre, and I think and I hope that this leads to major changes in college football, all right? So Lane Kiffin, over the last 48 hours, that has been all that people are talking about. Well, outside the Iron Bowl, right? But Saturday, he was supposed to make a decision. Friday, they beat Mississippi State. Okay, so make the decision between staying at Ole Miss and going to LSU. Everybody thought he was going to stay, go, all this stuff. Well, they scheduled a 9 a.m. meeting because the Saturday decision was postponed. This 9 a.m. meeting was supposed to take place on Sunday, November 30th. Never made a decision, okay? And that meeting was postponed. There's a 1 p.m. meeting set up, even before I cut this video. It seems like there's complete chaos behind the scenes. The latest in, and I saw this from Brett McMurphy of On3, it says Lane is threatening if he can't coach Ole Miss in the playoffs, he's going to poach the team and coaches. My goodness. I was thinking he's already going to poach whoever he wants. The college football calendar is completely broken. I don't like what's happening here. But what are you going to do? What is Ole Miss honestly going to do? Lane's gone. He's got to focus on early signing day, right, which is December 3rd through the 5th. Ole Miss doesn't even have a coach. They're 11-1. Lane Kiffin, you're telling me that Lane Kiffin is going to coach through the early signing period, coach this team into the playoffs, and then just, still coach at LSU? He's gonna be the head football coach in the office talking to players for LSU recruiting while he's making a playoff run? Yo, Ole Miss is in a terrible position right now. Terrible. What do you tell recruits? What do you tell players? Who's going to lead the team? You just had the most successful season, and now what? I honestly feel dead serious that we could have a situation to if Ole Miss loses key players, key coaches, key assistant coaches, that this team, even though they are 11-1, that they will be viewed as a different team entering the playoffs, and kind of what happened to Florida State when they didn't have their quarterback and Ole Miss misses the playoffs. Can you imagine that? That is crazy. This is also a really bad look for Lane Kiffin. It's been a PR disaster, to be honest. I felt, I saw him and the reporter have that exchange. I've seen things in the headline. It just doesn't look good for Kiffin. And I think he was kind of repairing his overall image, and we all know how difficult that can be. And now I think this looks terrible for him, to be honest. And you kind of look to the things that are happening behind the scenes. This is from Ross Dellinger. He says, Kiffin has made it clear to Ole Miss that he's going to LSU. So that's going to happen, right? LSU's original proposal was $90 million, right? Making him one of the highest paid coaches in college football, also giving him $25 million in salary cash. But wasn't it said that Ole Miss was willing to match anything, right? Meanwhile, back in Oxford, and this is more from Ross Dellinger, there's a scramble. A postponement of the team's meeting to 1 p.m., right, is related to the university's attempt to retain staff for the college football run. What's the staff going to do? So are you telling me that Pete Golding is going to end up coaching Ole Miss in the playoffs? There's no doubt that Lane Kiffin will be in attendance as scheduled travel to Louisiana. There's no doubt that Lane Kiffin will be in attendance as his scheduled travel to Louisiana overlaps. This is crazy. And you know what? What the hell is Ole Miss going to do from a head coaching job? Because all the young cats that are up and coming, they've already found landing spots. You saw, my phone was going crazy, all the coaches that were hired within 1 hour. Memphis hires Ryan Silverfield to Arkansas, right? Former head football coach at Memphis. North Texas football coach Eric Morris goes to Oklahoma State. Tulane's John Summerall is now hired at Florida. And then the biggest hire, I think, and I said this a couple weeks ago, and you guys got mad. I said if Auburn was smart, they go out and hire Alex Gollash. That's the best hire of the board, in my opinion. And as you know, Jamarcus Shepard, here from Alabama, is going to Oregon State. So if you're Ole Miss, what are you going to do for early signing day? That's literally December 3rd through the 5th. Who's recruiting? the college football calendar is a complete nightmare, right? Imagine teams like Coach, imagine Kalen DeBoer today, right? Hey, you won the Iron Bowl. So what? Get back to work because you have to recruit and finish out early signing from December 3rd to 5th, right? Tie up the loose ends. And also, you got to prep for the SEC title game. Whereas if you're like Oklahoma, you're done. So you can focus on recruiting much more easily, but Alabama has to prep for a playoff play-in game. And you know what I was thinking before we start talking about, kind of the college football playoffs and whatnot? Who's to say that Georgia even wants to play their best players? Don't you all remember what happened to Georgia last time they played in the SEC title? Their quarterback got hurt. I kind of look at it as the SEC championship where Georgia's at because they're 100% a lock is like one of these teams in the NFL. You get to week 16, 17, and you're like, yo, we're already in the playoffs. We're going to play our backup, right? What do they have to gain? Sure, okay, a bye. Yeah, we'll take it. I mean, it's a big risk reward playing your top players. I mean, players are going to get hurt, but Kirby Smart already dealt with that. And I think he's pissed off. And that probably, if Carson Beck was playing at his best last year, who knows? We'll see what happens. But, this is crazy what's going on with Lane Kiffin. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Do you think that my theory about Ole Miss maybe missing the playoffs could happen? I don't know. I kind of think so. All right, fam, news as it happens. Catch me at 12 p.m. for the college football playoff show right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See ya.